Steve, Adventure Overlanding here. We are starting a new segment. It is Adventure Stories with Steve. So what I thought I would do is kind of continue our hunting stories in this particular case because we're here on an elk hunt in Colorado. I was going to talk about one of the past hunts that I had, a drop camp scenario. I think I mentioned those in the past. This particular one, we actually had an outfitter with their horses take us up to their equipment. We still had to bring in our own food and our own sleeping equipment and that kind of thing, but we used their tent and their heat and so forth. Anyways, so the beginning of the story is that we all basically, there was 3 hunters at the time, and we pile into a pickup truck and another one following with the horse trailer. And so we get to the trailhead and they bring the horses out of the trailer and tie the horses to the side of the trailer, getting things ready and packed up. And the 3 hunters, which in this particular case happened to be myself and my uncle and another party that we have hunted with, the 2 of us before. And we're watching one of these horses pretty much pissed off at the world. He was kicking other horses, kicking the trailer. He was not happy to be there. And my uncle, who loves horses, no, he doesn't like horses at all, said that he was not going to ride that horse, that he would walk instead. Well, it ended up being that I got chosen for that horse, and everyone was pretty much mounted. I'm getting ready to get up on the horse, put my foot in the stirrup, and I have a backpack on with some hunting equipment, and just get my leg up and over the horse, and he decides that he doesn't want me on his back. So he bucks. Well, that sends me head over tea kettle right over the top of the horse's neck. On the way over, I decide I don't want to fall to the ground. I reach out and give the horse's neck a bear hug. While he's bucking, I'm hanging there bouncing with my backpack, and I know that everyone around me is laughing. Trust me, I could hear it. So the horse is bucking, finally stops bucking, and my foot is stuck in the stirrup because now it's twisted a little bit. So they have to remove my foot from that, and I do finally get off. Things settle down a little bit. We do some exchange with who's riding what. One of the outfitter person who was handling the horses decides he will ride the horse up, and none of the hunters have to. So we make some exchanges, travel all the way up to camp, and as we get to camp and we start unloading the horses, the pack horses, this particular horse collapses completely on the ground, basically straight down. And I don't know what's going on, but apparently, there is something really seriously wrong with this horse. So what happens is they have to get this horse back up on its feet. Horses don't lay down, and there's something wrong with it. So they actually tied it to another horse and started proceeding back down the hill. Some of the other guys had to walk back down. What found out later is that it had gotten into some bad hay, and apparently, not being a horse person myself, started to twist the intestines or something like that, and that's why this particular horse was pissed off at the world. He had a stomach ache. Anyway, so it was an interesting adventure. Some events that I learned from my uncle. Will never go on another horseback ride again, but so it was kind of fun. Those kinds of stories, I think we'll bring up several and keep going with those, and we'll keep going with this type of video. That if you guys are interested in hearing some of my hunting stories, please let us know. Subscribe, comments, questions about this kind of story, or you might have one yourself. What kind of adventure? So, Steve at Adventure Overlanding. On to our next adventure.
Yay! On to our next adventure!